Namaskaram, namas sarvebhyah, swagatam. A warm welcome to all the participants of Lalita Sahasranama. Today is a special day for us. Today is a special day for us. Every day we chant Sahasranama is a special day for us. Today is a special day because we have the scholars with us, Srimati Purnima Prasad, Srimati Saumya Krishnapur, Sri Venkata Subramanian, and Sri Vishwanathan. So a warm welcome, Swagatam, Namaskaram. So we'll start with the Mangalam to the Jagadguru. गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो. Once again, a very warm welcome, Swagatam to everyone. Today's agenda is like this. We will start with the Samarpanam to Lalitambika by reciting few lines of Lalita Sahasranamam, which we have learnt in the last classes. And we will have an introduction to our chief guest, a scholar. And then we will have the address by chief guest, which is the most awaited talk on Lalita Sahasranama. We will have the closing remarks by Vyoma team, and then presentation, close-out presentation of the Sahasranama and Mangalam. So this is the agenda for today. Similar to our last classes, we will start with the Dhyanam. Like I say in every class, let us visualize the form of Lalita Parameshwari before we start with the Dhyanam. I request all the participants in the session to kindly chant along. Though you are on mute, please chant along. We will start with the Dhyanam and we will start the chanting of few verses along with the panelists. So please visualize the form of Lalita Parameshwari for few seconds. Dhyanam Sindurarunavigrahan Trinayanam Manikya-maulispurat Taranayakashekharam Smitamukhi-mapinavakshoruham Panibhyamali-purnaraत्नचषकं Raktotpalam Bibhratim सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणान् ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. I request the panelists to chant after me. Aditi, you can start after me. श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी.
ओम श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी. ओम श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी.
चिदग्निकुण्ड सम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता.
चिदग्निकुण्ड सम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता. चिदग्निकुण्ड सम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता.
उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता.
उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता. मुद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता
रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला
रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला
मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला
मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्ड पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्ड पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला.
So we will move to the last few verses. अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी
अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी
अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका
अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका
आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना
आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना
श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका
श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका
श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका
श्रीशिवा
Continue, Aditi.
श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका Shri Shiva Shiva Shaktyaikya-rupini Lalitambika.
एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः
एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः
इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे
इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे
उत्तरखण्डे
उत्तरखण्डे
हयग्रीवागस्त्य संवादे
हयग्रीवागस्त्य संवादे
श्रीललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं सम्पूर्णम्
श्रीललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं सम्पूर्णम् श्रीललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं सम्पूर्णम्
धन्यवादाः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते. We offer all our chanting of all these classes to the feet of Lalita Parameshwari, Lalita Tripura Sundari, and to the scholars, the gurus who are present today in this Samarpanam session. With this, I would like to invite Shri Venkata Subramanian Mahodaya to introduce our respected chief guest, Srimati Guru Purnima Prasad, to all of us.
Incidentally, since Soumya is present, Soumya is more closer to Purnima, and I think Soumya is the right person to introduce Purnima. I would request Soumya if she can take the honor of introducing the chief guest.
नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. It is definitely a privilege and a very happy task to introduce Srimati Purnima Prasad. So as Venkat sir mentioned, I have been fortunate to have known her for probably close to 20 years now. So I had her initial acquaintance when we were studying Vyakarana under our Guru Srimati Vidushi M. Vijayalakshmi. So Srimati Purnima has been a very good friend since then, and I have drawn a lot of inspiration from her dedication to studies, to Samskrita, to Shastras, and her basically a very nice nature, as we say, a sajjana in every aspect. So Srimati Purnima has been, she has studied, as I said, Vyakarana. So we together studied for 6 or 7 years together from Vidushi M. Vijayalakshmi. She has also completed her Vidvat in Alankara Shastra and also her MA in Sanskrit. In addition to that, she has also studied Vedanta under Pujya Swamiji Dayananda Saraswati. She also listens to classes by Swami Paramarthananda. So she has a long exposure to the texts of Vedanta. She has also been learning stotras, many stotra texts, such as the Saundarya Lahari, along with the Sanskrit commentaries from Vijayalakshmi Madam. She has a long experience in teaching also. She has been teaching Sanskrit to various people taking various exams, such as the Samskrita Bharati exams, since more than 10 years. She also gives discourses on stotras, the various Shankara stotras, etc. And a very remarkable thing which I have always been amazed by her is that her mother tongue is actually Tamil, and when she started classes, she didn't know much of Kannada. But since our teacher used to teach in Kannada, she has now picked up so much of Kannada that she can even actually give discourses and lectures in the language. So along with all that content, she has also mastered the language purely out of her love and dedication for the subject. So she was so much interested to learn that such things do not matter. So it's one of the several things I have learned from her. So it's recently we launched in Vyoma Samskrita Pathashala. We had the fortune of launching a course by Srimati Purnima Prasad, where she has explained the verses of the Saundarya Lahari in simple English. So each verse is explained with its Anvaya, Pratipadartha, and the Bhavartha in simple English. So we launched it recently on the occasion of Lalita Panchami during Navaratri, and it is definitely she is a very apt person to be with us today when we are concluding this course on Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. So on behalf of Vyoma Samskrita Pathashala, I extend a hearty welcome to Srimati Purnima Prasad and request her to bless us with a few words on this occasion.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. That was a very impressive introduction by Dr. Soumya. Anyway, my heartfelt thanks to Soumya, and my pleasure to speak a few words on Lalita Sahasranama on behalf of the Vyoma team. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Namo Namaha. I understand that you all, the learners, have chosen to learn to chant Lalita Sahasranamam from a teacher with Sanskrit knowledge, and that too offered in a portal dedicated to Sanskrit. Now, 2 points very significant here. Firstly, I asked myself, what inspired you all to choose to learn this Lalita Sahasranamam chanting? So here I would like to recall this verse. Yenanya devata nama kirtitam janma kotishu tasyaiva bhavati shraddha Shri Devi nama kirtane. This is the answer I get. Those who have been worshipping and singing praises of all other forms of devatas like Ganesha, Shanmukha, Vishnu, there are so many Sahasranamam and stotras. So over many, many lifetimes, after they have offered prayers to the different deities, only then it is said that they will get the inspiration and commitment to chant Devi's names. So this implies a certain blessing from Devi, Ishwari's Kripa on all the learners. Secondly, why is it important to learn from a Sanskrit scholar a simple answer would be to be able to pronounce correctly. Now, why is this focus on pronouncing correctly important? Let us take a look at that in the Sahasranama. Right in the beginning, Dhyana Shloka is taught, and I saw how beautifully your teacher made sure that it was pronounced correctly. And so what it means is the Dhyana Shloka is taught at first so that each one, when you chant every name, Devi's form is visualized internally. Why? Because otherwise the names will just be names and they will have no meaning at all. They will lose their value. It would otherwise be like, calling out names from a register in school for attendance. It will become like that. So this Sahasranamam chanting is not like that. So the 1,000 names have been given to us by Vagdevatas themselves. So, and that too with Devi's Anugraha. Now there is a small story which I'm sure most of you know. So I'm not going to touch upon that story. Each Sahasranama is loaded with a lot of value, and each one is a mantra. What I want to point out is that we know that Sri Hayagriva, he taught it to Agastya Muni. Now, initially, Agastya taught so many things to Agastya Muni, and as the name goes, Agastya knew so much already about Shastra, and so who could be a better Shishya than Agastya Muni? Hayagriva Avatara is said to be a abode, adhara of all knowledge, and yet he knew about Sahasranamam, and yet he did not teach it to this qualified Sishya Agastya Muni. Why? Because Agastya Muni did not ask for it. So the message here for us is Brahma Vidya or Shri Vidya is not to be imparted to anyone and everyone. It must be asked for. It must be sought for. Only when Agastya Muni asked for this, he was taught the Sahasranama of Lalita Parameshwari. This implies the significance of the Lalita Sahasranama. Then here a small narration on the author, not author, I should say. On Lalita Sahasranamam, there is a wonderful bhashyam, commentary written by Sri Bhaskara Raya. He is on par with Adi Shankaracharya, and there are a lot of anecdotes about him. Just one thing to point out the significance of the phala of Sri Vidya Upasana, I wish to share. Sri Bhaskara Raya was so, he was an all-knower and Shakti Upasaka. He was a grihastha, but still better than any other sannyasi could have been. So these, as usual, all the other scholars in the village, they were very jealous of him. There was one scholar named Narayana Bhatta. So he, along with the other scholars opposing Sri Bhaskara Raya, he challenged him. And then there was a sabha held in which so many questions on Mantra Shastra was asked to Bhaskara Raya, to which he answered. And then at that time, there was a sannyasi named Sri Kumkumananda Swami. He is said to have warned the scholars not to continue with the challenge because Sri Devi herself talks through Sri Bhaskara Raya and not anyone else. But still Sri Narayana Bhatta wanted pramana for this. So it is said that the question asked was, they asked Sri Bhaskara Raya to tell non-stop the 64 crore names of yoginis. Chatushashti Koti Yogini Samanvita, she is worshipped. So it is said that Sri Bhaskara Raya just went on telling one after the other different names. Even the listeners were getting tired. And then Kunkumanandacharya, he gave Sri Narayana Bhatta Divya Drishti, and then when he saw, it was near Sri Bhaskara Raya's ears. Lalita Parameshwari was seated and continuously telling him every name, and that's what was coming out of his mouth. Such was his greatness, and this is the phala of committed regular Sri Vidya Upasana. Such a great commentator. His commentary on Lalita Sahasranama is known as Saubhagya Bhaskara. So based on that, I would like to share the meaning of a few verses which are pertaining to syllables. Now, let's look at the verse. Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya Raktavarna Trilochana Khatwangadi Praharana Vadanaika Samanvita Payasana Priya Twakstha Pashuloka Bhayankari Amritadi Mahashakti Samvrita Dakinishwari. Here, Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya. In the Vishuddhi Chakra. Vishuddhi Chakra means it is the energy point in the neck region. For those who don't know, all the chakras are placed in the spinal cord. So the neck region is said only to help you visualize. So in this chakra, Devi is said to be seated on a 16-petaled lotus. Now, what is the significance here is each petal is one yogini representing one swara. So 16 swaras are represented by each yogini. Amritadi Mahashakti Samvrita. Each yogini has a name. So the first name starts with Amrita and then it goes on. Devi is known as Dakinishwari, and as she is seated in this lotus, she is visualized and she is prayed to. So here the 16 swaras are represented. Then the next one, as you go down in the Anahata Chakra, Anahatabja Nilaya, she is surrounded by Kala Ratriyadi Shaktyauga Vrita, by yoginis starting from Kala Ratri, etc. There are 12 yoginis here because in this chakra, the lotus is supposed to have 12 petals. So each petal represents one akshara, and so the syllables starting from ka to tha. Now, this numbering, the order goes according to the Katapayadi Sankhya. Here, the syllables starting from ka to tha are represented, and each one syllable is the beginning of the name of a yogini. So here we have 12 syllables. Then the form of Bhagavati is Rakini. Then you go down to the next chakra, Manipurabja Nilaya. Here she is surrounded by Damaryadi Bhiravrita. Manipura chakra is around the navel. Anahata, you go down to the heart region. Then to the navel region is the Manipura chakra. So Devi seated in a 10-petaled lotus known by the name Lakini. She is surrounded by Damari and others. So the 10 syllables which are noted here are from Da to Pa, Dakini to Phatkarini, Damari to Phatkarini. So Da to Pa are the syllables with which each name of yogini starts, and then 10 yoginis are there. Then you go to the next chakra below the navel, Swadhishthanam Bhujagata, and there Bandhinyadi Samanvita. So the Devis are known as Bandhini, yoginis are known as Bandhini, etc. There are 6 petals. So 6 yoginis are present over there around Bhagavati, and those 6 syllables will be Ba, Bha, Ma, Ya, Ra, La. Bandhini to Lamboshti. These yoginis represent the 6 syllables. Then you go down below that, Mooladharambuja Rudha, and there she is surrounded by Varadadi Nishevita. So in the Mooladhara Chakra, Devi is seated on a 4-petaled lotus, surrounded by 4 yoginis known by the names Varada and so on. So the syllables represented here will be starting with Va, Varadadi. So Va, Sha, Sha, Sa. These are the 4 syllables represented. Then is mentioned Agnya Chakra. You know, there is a process. I'm not touching upon the other part of the meaning. There's lot of more meaning connected with these. Agnya Chakrabja Nilaya Hamsavati Mukhya Shakti Samanvita. Devi is seated on a lotus with 2 petals. The 2 petals are Yoginis Hamsavati and Kshamavati. So the syllables represented here are Ha and Ksha. Point to note here is Ksha is not a Samyukta Akshara. It is 1 syllable by itself. So Hamsavati and Kshamavati. So here 2 syllables are represented. Now if you put together all of them, you will get 50 syllables of the Varnamala. All the 50 syllables are represented, which means every Varna or syllable is a yogini. So it is extremely essential and important to pronounce Alpa Prana, Mahaprana, Hrasva, Dirgha as taught. So as is taught by your teacher, it's very important to pronounce. Then, so when you pronounce correctly, every nama will be a mantra, and then it will bless the sadhaka with whatever he or she desires for. Now here, some may have the question, oh my God, this is really hard to pronounce. It's very difficult. But still, I do want to know the Swarupa of Devi. Devi is none other than Brahman in the feminine form. I do want to know her Swarupa. Now this question is answered towards the end. You all chanted those 2 verses also. By the Nama Abhyasa Atishaya Jnata. Atishaya Abhyasa. One has to be extremely committed, sincere, and then do sadhana. Then definitely one will be able to understand the Swarupa of Bhagavati. That's the meaning here. Jnata, she will be known. Now here one interesting definition of Abhyasa given by Sri Bhaskara Raya is Punah Punaha Asupteramrite Kalam Naye Vedanta Chintayeti, which means Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam has to be done until the body is dropped. So, okay, I will do sadhana like this. What is the guarantee that such severe sadhana will reveal the nature of Lalita Parameshwari? That is also answered in next nama, 1 nama later. Avyaja Karuna Murtihi. Lalita Parameshwari is Avyaja Karuna Murtihi. She is a personification of compassion, which means she gives you guarantee that your effort will not go for a waste. Like this, chanting every nama correctly, pronouncing it properly, and valuing every syllable, seated in one place, visualizing the dhyana swarupa will certainly bless the devotee with Atmajnanam. And this phalam, I want to mention, is not for chanting while walking around, doing different chores, allowing the recorder to chant many times. Then this phalam is not meant for that. Commitment and involvement in the dhyana swarupa and then chanting is extremely important. So this is what I wish to stress over here. With this, I will make a conclusion. I pray May Lalita Parameshwari's blessings be showered on all those who have chosen to learn to chant Lalita Sahasranamam. My best wishes to Dr. Soumya Bhagini, Sri Venkata Subramaniam Mahodaya, Srimati Sandhya Rajesh, and the Vyoma team. I wish to conclude with the 100th shloka of Saundarya Lahari, which is very connected with these. प्रदीपज्वालाभिः दिवसकरनीराजनविधिः सुधासूतेश्चन्द्रोपलजललवैरर्घ्यरचना स्वकीयैरम्भोभिः सलिलनिधिसौहित्यकरणं त्वदीयाभिर्वाग्भिः तव जननि वाचां स्तुतिरियम् तव जननि वाचां स्तुतिरियम्. Namaste.
Dhanyavadaha Bhagini. We are very blessed hearing to this talk by you, which has given us so much of direction and importance of chanting Lalita Sahasranamam. So I was telling initially that every day is a special day when we chant Lalita Sahasranama. So today is much more special because of your presence and your sandesha to all of us. Dhanyavadaha Bhagini. Venkat Mahodaya.
सर्वेभ्यः राम राम राम. हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति यो वदेत् तस्य निस्सरते वाणी जह्नुकन्या प्रवाहवत्. पूर्णिमा भगिन्या बहु समीचीनतया प्रतिपादितं ललिता सहस्रनाम विषये. So Purnima Bhagini has explained very beautifully regarding the pronunciation aspects, some important aspects of Lalita Sahasranam. Now, I thought I will use this opportunity to tell one important message of our rishis. So Lalita Sahasranama is in Brahmanda Purana. So Purana is Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrahmayet. The message of the Vedas has to be there in the Puranas, and the extrapolation of the message of the Vedas is seen in the Puranas. So Brahmanda Purana is also one of the 18 Puranas, and there are different kandas in Brahmanda Purana. This is a Uttarakanda, we say that, no? So in Brahmanda Purana, in Uttarakanda, we have the Mantra Kanda, Nyasa Kanda, Stotra Kanda and all. So in the Stotra Kanda, we are having this Lalita Sahasranama Stotra. The other things Purnima Bhagini has covered. Now, what is the message of the rishis? The rishis, when they gave a mantra, our Sanatana Dharma, whenever it gives an grantha, Anugraha grantha, it gives a solution to all problems. You take Bhagavad Gita, it has got a solution to all our problems. One grantha, a solution which has to all problems. Same way, Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, all these granthas are Anugraha granthas. Now, Lalita Sahasranama is also a Divyanugraha grantha, as Bhagini told, because Devi herself initiates the Vagdevatas to compose this, and there is a place in Tamil Nadu which is called Tirumaichur. We have all been to that place and taken the darshan and blessings of Devi there. So whenever we have seen that whenever we chant more Lalita Sahasranama and do more puja, we get a chance to go to Tirumaichur. So Tirumaichur is the place where it is said that the Vagdevatas have done this. It is near Mayavaram in Tamil Nadu. Now with this, I thought I should talk about the format of this Sahasranama. This Sahasranama structure or format, what does it talk about? Bhagini already told, Purnima Bhagini already told, it talks about the Brahmavastu. If you ask me one single thing, what it is talking about, it is talking about the Brahmavastu. Throughout these 1000 names, we can link all these nama to Brahmavastu. It is a Sarani, it is a Mala Sarani, which talks about the Brahmavastu. So the rishis, they give with this Lalita Sahasram also, what they have done is they have given solution to us in the form of Lalita Sahasrama also. Even this one short grantha which is inside a Purana can give us different margas to worship the Devi. Now, if you see the 1000 names, we have this Panchakritya Parayana, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirodhana, Anugraha. There are 5 things which any Devata does. So if you see Sri Mata, Sri Maharagni and Srimat Simhasareshwari, these 3 names are Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, and balance 4 to 999 names are the Tirodhana and Anugraha. And the last name, which is Lalita Ambika in Maha 1000th name, is the realization or the knowledge or the Brahmavastu. So now that is one way of looking at the entire structure of Lalita Sahasranama. Another way of the scholars who are, I think Purnima Bhagini is a Vedantic scholar. So in Brahma Sutra, we have this Samanvaya, Avirodha, Sadhana, Phala. These are there are these kind of classifications, 4 divisions of Brahma Sutras. Exactly the same 4 divisions can be made in Lalita Sahasrama also. So Nama 1 to 3 is a neutral one, so that will not be taken into consideration. 4 to 131 is Samanvaya, 132 to 256 is Avirodha. Like that, we can classify that also. So it is also giving the essence of the Prasthanatrayas. Then regarding the Advaita Shastra, there are many namas which talk about Advaita Shastra. Ameya, Aja, Atma Vidya, Ekakini, Antarmukha Samaradhya, Kevala, Kutastha, Gunatita, Chinmayi, Chiti, Chidekara Sarupini, Chichakti, Chetana, different names. All these names talk about the Advaita Tattva. Then you have Mantra Shastra and Sri Vidya, which is there. So Akula, Sri Vidyaye Namaha, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. Then you have Kameshwara Mukhaloka, Kalpita Kameshwara Mukhaloka, Kalpita Sri Ganeshwara, Karanguli Nakotpanna Narayana Dashakti, Mantra Shastra, Sri Vidya. Then there are different granthas like Lalitopakhyanam and Devi Bhagavatam. Different Puranas are merged here. Guru Mandala Rupini, Guru Priya, Manu Vidya, Chandra Vidya, Chitkala, Jnana Mudra, Panchapreta Samasina. These are bringing the Mantra Shastra and Sri Vidya here. Sri Vidya name especially Bindu Tarpana Santushta, then Mahayaga Kramaradhya. So Mahayaga Kramaradhya, I would just want to share my experience regarding this Mahayaga Kramaradhya. So what is this Mahayaga Kramaradhya? As per Bhaskar Radhya, he says that Mahayaga Kramaradhya is Devi who is worshipped through the Mahayaga. What is this Mahayaga? This Mahayaga is 64 Sri Vidya Dampatis worshipping Devi in a Sri Chakra formation at a single time, at the same time, along with the puja, archana and homa. So everything being done in that mandala is called Mahayaga Kramaradhya. Now this is a Sri Vidya. People who are initiated in the Sri Vidya, they do this. And in Bombay, I was fortunate to attend one such event. So I was called, I and my brother, we were called as volunteers for working for this kind of a puja. I think it was done 2 times. We were fortunate to participate first time, and second time we were called as a volunteer, and we participated as volunteers, and we used to give flowers to all the Sri Vidya Dampatis, etc. So it talks each. So Mahaya Kramaradhya, that one name is telling so many things. So like that, Mahayantra, Mahamantra, Mahatantra, Meru Nilaya, Mantrasara, Rahastarpana Tarpita, all these Sri Chakra Raja Nilaya, all these things are related to Sri Vidya. This is the second topic. So first one was Advaita, second one is Mantra Shastra, Sri Vidya, Mantra Shastra and Sri Vidya. Next we have Yoga. Now Mooladharaika Nilaya, Brahmagranthi Vibhedini, Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya, Yogini, Yogada, all these names, Yogini, Yogada, Yogya, Yogananda, all these are relating to the Yogini Nyasa method, where it talks about yoga and different forms of yoga and how to achieve Devi Sakshatkara through this yoga marga. Then we have Bhakti. This is the marga which we all like in Kali Yuga. So Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhakta Saubhagya Dayini, Bhakti Priya, Kshipra Prasadini, Bhakta Chitta Keki Ghana Ghana, Nama Parayana Prita, Lopa Mudrarchita, Dhyana Gamya, Varada, Kama Pujita. These are some of the names. So whenever we talk about Bhakti, who is the Bhakta who has worshipped Devi? So Kama Pujita. Like that we get to know how she does Anugraha. Chipra Prasadini. She does the Anugraha quickly. She is a Mata. So Avyaja Karunamurti, she does Anugraha quickly. Same way we have Bhakti is done. Then the Karma Kanda. Vedas talk about Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. So Kritagnya, Shishteshta, Shishtapujita, Swaha, Swadha, Shubhakari, Dikshita, Yajna Swarupa, Yajna Priya, Yajna Kartri, Yajamana Swarupini, Dharmadhara, all these names, they talk about karma. Then there is essence of all the Shastras, Sarva Shastra Samanvaya. This is the sixth point. So you have Vishwarupa, Pashupasha Vimochini, Mula Prakriti, Savyapa Savya Margasta, Visatantu Taniyasi. All this talk about Sarva Shastra Samanvaya. So when we read the commentaries and the Lalita Sahasranama and the Nama itself, we only know that there is nothing that is left out in this Sahasranama. It is the Chit Shakti which is being described, the Brahmavastu which is described, and everything that is required for a sadhaka, for a man to live in this life, to live in this world is described in Lalita Sahasranama. So other things I think Purnima Bhagini has covered. So with this few things, so we are all fortunate that we could learn this Lalita Sahasranama. So through Vyoma, definitely we are thinking of launching a course on a pre-recorded video course on the meanings of Lalita Sahasranama, provided Devi's Anugraha is there. We will try our best, because see, it is a very, very certain names, certain namas need extreme explanation of Sri Vidya and other things. So only the initiated person, in some shastras they say that only the initiated persons have to be initiated in all these things. So we are contemplating on what is the right thing to do. Of course, but I would encourage all of you, now that you have learned some Sanskrit and you have learned some the Sahasranama to chant and memorize and do Parayanam, I would encourage you to look at the English translations of Saubhagya Bhaskara. And there is one more book, I think, by English translation by Ramamurthy. This also you can study. So it is mainly based on Saubhagya Bhaskaram. And one thing which I would like to mention, there is also one more commentary, which is Vaidyanathiyam, which Sringeri Math has published, Vaidyanathiya Bhashyam, which also you can study, but it is not in English, it is in Sanskritam. but people who know Sanskritam can study these commentaries, and you can use the translation books of Chaukamba, Hindi books and English books, and try to study the meanings by yourself. With Devi's Anugraha and her grace, definitely we will be able to achieve more Ananda by studying the meanings of these Sahasranama. Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavadaha Venkat Mahodaya. It is, you made this occasion more special by sharing your knowledge with us. I request Shri Vishwanathan Mahodaya, if you would like to share a few words with us.
आनंदेन अनुभूति अवस्थायाम् अस्मि सर्वैः अतीव सम्यक् उक्तं राम राम राम
Dhanyavadaha. We will move to the last part of the session today. I would like to share a small presentation which is actually is a how we can help and support to grow Sanskritam, how we can help to help the spread of knowledge which is already being done by the by Vyoma Labs team. So this is a small slide structure that I would like to share with everyone. So as we all know that Vyoma Labs has been working on spreading the knowledge of Sanskritam. If you had seen the tagline of Vyoma, it says Sanskritam value education combined with technology, which is very, very rarely seen in any of the organizations. So it's a combination of Sanskritam and value education to the world around us, society around us, combined with technology. So it reaches even the corners of, different locations basically. So there has been a long journey which the Vyoma team has traversed. So I take this opportunity to share with you a snapshot of what Vyoma team has achieved and how we can all support us in this journey. So 18 self-learning media products, 191 free courses, 16 free mobile apps to learn Sanskritam, shlokas, grammar, subhashita and whatnot. 2000, approximately 2000 or more than 2000 video recordings with 29,000 committed learners. This is the achievement that has been done by the Vyoma team. The reason being the pillars behind this team, Venkat Mahodaya and Vishwanath Mahodaya. So all these have been possible only by the blessings, guidance, generous support of people, well-wishers, elders, scholars, and of course Jagat Guru and Parameshwari's blessings. So how we can help us in this journey in taking this learning to next steps. So it is very important for every learner to set some goal for self. So the learning actually doesn't stop. Today we are in the last class of Lalita Sahasranama session, but I don't want to call this as a last session. It's not really a last session. It's a journey that we all have to continue learning. We are all learners. So this is the first step we have taken by learning the Sahasranama. So we have to set goals for ourselves on expanding our learning further. So what we can do, we have to dedicate some time every day, like Purnima Bhagini was telling that, chanting every letter of the Sahasranama, proper pronunciation is important. So when we have the bhakti and dedication, it automatically falls in place. So if we can dedicate time every day to the Devi, to the Parayanam, so whatever we learned, not just in the Lalita Sahasranamam class, whatever we learned, if we can dedicate time on what we have learned and continue the journey, that's a great contribution back to the organization who is spreading so much of knowledge. This is a personal goal that we all can set to ourselves. So it is usually, we all know that, we learn more, we become better in our knowledge when we share our knowledge with others. So by teaching others, our learning will enhance further, our knowledge will enhance further. It's a personal experience also. I have learned a lot in the course of this journey of Lalita Sahasranama session. So I will recommend all of you to share your knowledge with few people, even if it is one name that you teach somebody, or even if you talk about the course and ask them to, or about the organization and ask them to learn, that is also a contribution that you are supporting somebody to learn more. You can also refer Vyoma products, courses to people, so we can at least, make an attempt to talk to one person every day and tell them about Sanskritam, the value education, how Vyoma team is doing this. So more people like you gets benefited. It's like it's a movement. So it's not just enough if I learn, I want others to learn around me. So that's how we all move towards a better place for our coming generations. So I kindly request everyone to consider this as your personal goals, and this is what is the contribution that you can majorly make to the society at a large. So it's not that we are helping Vyoma or we are helping somebody, it is actually we are helping ourselves and our future generations. So how further we can do is, we can also donate generously. We can support financially some of the products in Vyoma. There is a proverb like it says that every drop counts. So like that, every rupee counts. So you can donate generously also. So there are specific supports that you can extend. There is a Vidvat Sambhavana, which goes as a compensation to scholars who are working for Vyoma. So these scholars are basically people who are, a rare combination, I can say, rare combination of people who know Sanskritam, who are good in project management, who know technology, and who have dedicated their life to the cause of Vyoma. The people who work for Vyoma and make it happen. And these are the people who know technology also. So Vidvat Sambhavana, Upakarana Sambhavanam. So to run this kind of an organization with so many free courses, so many free apps, a very good, strong technology background is required. So like the tools we use for the meeting, like GoToMeeting, or a hardware, the server, the infrastructure cost. So there is a certain amount of funds that is spent or invested in these areas every year, which is indicated here. Third one is the Adhyapaka Sambhavana. So there are people, Samskrita scholars, who teach various subjects, like it could be the Vyakarana aspects, or who teach the Artha of various Granthas. So there is an Adhyapaka Sambhavana involved. So all these things are possible when people like us support the organization. So you can, this presentation I will also be I think we can share it with our participants, I think, isn't it, Soumya Bhagini? I think she's on mute. So we can actually share some of this information to you, and I think this is also available on the website of Vyoma.
Yes.
Okay. So other thing you can do is you can also contribute to Vyoma's Corpus Fund, which would actually benefit the next generations. So like I said, it is not that we are helping somebody, we are actually helping ourselves by these things. So how you can do this? You will get ATG tax benefit in India, Vyoma being the non-profit company. We can go to sanskritfromhome.in and donate from sanskritfromhome.in portal, or from Vyoma Labs page. It's a very simple process. It's a two-step process to do. Most of you will find it very easy. You can also do an online transfer by adding Vyoma as the beneficiary. Again, these details are provided on the website also. You can also send a courier or post with a check. So these are the different options. For people who are from US, you can visit vyomausa.org, and again, it's a very simple process there. You have QR code scanning or your PayPal option. So option 3 can be again a check which can be couriered to Vyoma Sanskrit e-learning Inc., which is the US address mentioned here. So like and if there is any other foreign nationals who want to donate in a different currency, then there is a wire transfer option and also the check option. So while I'm saying this, it is not that we are insisting that a donation is met. The first 3 important things that we all have to keep in mind is setting a personal goal for ourselves, that dedicating a time to take this learning further. Second is teaching something to somebody, which is again, which helps us to grow personally, to learn more, enhance our knowledge. And third is the most important thing you can do is to spread the word of, to spread about Vyoma, to spread word about sanskritfromhome.in. So these are the most important things that you can do. The contacts would be Shri Venkata Subramaniam, co-founder and COO, and Shri Vishwanathan P, CEO of Vyoma Labs. So this is one small information that I wanted to share with all the participants of the Sahasranama chanting session. We have reached the last stage of the session today. I take this opportunity to extend my dhanyavadaha to the first and foremost our chief guest, Srimati Purnima Prasad, who kindly consented to join us and shared her inputs with how we can continue our journey of Lalita Sahasranama, how important is the pronunciation and what it could lead to as the Sakshatkara of Brahmaswarupin. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Vyoma team, especially Venkata Subramanian, Vishwanathan and Saumya Bhagini, for all the support they have extended me in making this course happen. Dhanyavadaha. Apart from there have been a lot of people who have worked in the back end, who have enabled this, who have been loading the course material, who have prepared the initial set of Sahasranama document, who have been consistently providing YouTube support. So I would like to thank the entire Vyoma team for this support in running this course. And of course, all the participants of this session, I have enjoyed, I have learned from you all, and I always I was looking forward to meet you all every Tuesday through this course. And most of you are in actually personal touch with me on email. I would like to continue that. Last but not the least, I should not forget my panelists. My panelists have been wonderful panelists, and I should say excellent panelists. Amogha, Aditi and Ishu, dhanyavadaha to you too. So thank you all. Dhanyavadaha to everyone. We will close with the Shanti Mantra. Anything else to be added, please let me know, Mahodaya, Venkat Mahodaya.
किमपि नास्ति, शान्ति मन्त्रेण समाप्तिं कुर्मः.
Amogha.
किमपि
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः. ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः, स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम्, न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु.
Dhanyavadaha. My pranams and namaskarams. Ram Ram Ram. So with this, we will close today's session.
पूर्णिमा भगिनी, धन्यवादाः.